Welcome to He's Been Doing It All Day. We're Adam and Simon. This episode is brought to you by the Carlton Draft. Check them out at carltondraftshirts.com. That's Carlton Draft with an F. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram at Been Doing It All Day. Check us out on Twitter as well. It's time for round 8.
Suns versus the Bulldogs. The Sunny Boys are on in prime time as the good Lord Matt Rowell intended. The scoreworm looked like a pristine beta wave, but this game would do anything but put you to sleep. It was like watching the Bulldogs of now play the Bulldogs of 2016. Grown men playing kids with attitude and spunk. It was exciting to see. However, when kids don't grow up and kids play men, it also looks like a team playing against under-10s, which is also a little bit like what it looked like. The Sex Machine kicked 3 juicy goals, and young stud Rankin had the chance to take over but ended up kicking 1 goal for. It wasn't to be for the Sunny Boys as the Bullies controlled the tempo and made the right decisions at the right time. It was the Dogs in a nail-biter by 5 points.
Giants versus Tigers. The grand final rematch. The Giants looking for redemption. The Tigers fans too busy being distracted by the medallion around their necks to care. Aiden Call was stunned and looked like his mum walked into his bedroom during a bit of private time as he was caught holding the ball on the goal line when he could have just rushed it through for a behind. For the Giants, the grass was always greener as Toby drilled 5 straight. We love him and we love that he always looks shocked at everything he's done. The Giants get back on the winners list and take it by 2 points.
North Melbourne versus the Blues. The Blues started strong, getting out to a 5-goal lead, but North were able to reel them back in. Belter middle quarters by the biggest pest on the field, Pittard, and his mate from Port Adelaide, Pollock, got them back to within 2 points. The rain came down heavy in the last quarter and washed the Kangaroos' chances away like that paper hat in the movie It. But instead of a murderous clown sitting in the drain, it was filled with a bunch of smug Carlton supporters ready to tell you how good they are, even though they're sitting 9th on the ladder playing a sport they've been playing for 150 years. After the game, I had to turn my phone off. The thing was blowing up. It was going crazy. Umpiring got a little dicey in the 4th quarter, but that didn't stop the baggers. The time was on their side. They won a nail-biter, another heart-stopper. Blues supporters come away smiling. Blues by 7 points.
Sydney versus the Hawks. This match was about as clean as the jokes your drunk uncle tells you at Christmas. It was an absolute scrap of the lowest order. Today's interview guest and a card-carrying member of the Hungry Hippos goal-kicking club, Tom Papley, gave us something to talk to him about later on as he stopped by the reject shop for a 2-for-1 deal on goals when he suckered Chip Frawling to knock him over like the 10 pins at the local strike bowling. He jagged 4 for the day while Mitch Lewis's leather allergy must have been playing up because he registered just a single possession for the entire match. Hawks in some dark areas at the moment. Swans by 7 points.
The Saints versus the Power. Confirmed. The Saints love living in Noosa and flying Adelaide to break hearts. A to-and-fro game for 3 quarters. The teams were split by 1 point at 3-quarter time. And then St Kilda went absolutely bonkers. Confirmed, boys, it is berry season. It's Tim Skunk Memberry season. He locked in his application for a new car with the goal of the year, an absolute certainty that's also got him a new role as in the new movie for the Karate Kid, which was good for him. 5 goals in the last quarter. The Saints completely iced the game and left a bunch of Port Adelaide supporters unhappy. As you can imagine, they took it very, very well. Saints by 29 points.
Adelaide versus Essendon. Dons fans absolutely shitting themselves playing the only team without a win while everyone else not so secretly hoping they get rolled. Connor McKenna went all Michael Flatley and performed river dance as he kicked it to himself when he ran through the middle. Tom Duday said not today to Will Snelling as he put him into next week with a massive bump. Our favourite, the halftime fight, was back and Matt Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon is on report after a jumper pull which turned into a headbutt. Despite a late Crows comeback, Essendon beat another cellar dweller, Dons by 3 points.
West Coast versus Collingwood. The West Coast are back on the West Coast and they showed for them West is well and truly best. This game was a game of ruck-on-ruck crime though. Nick Nat invites Reg Grundy into his space, says welcome to my area. Showed him that over in the East it might be you, but you, my friend, are not over in the East. You are in the West, and here I am the best. The Prince of Perth, dominant performance, putting the ball wherever he wanted on every ruck tap. Now, we know the Eagles are a different breed in Perth, but this was something special. The crowd were in full voice. For context, Josh Kennedy got a standing ovation as he tied his shoe. Granted, he was on his way to kicking an absolute bag, and the boys in the blue and gold were flying all over the field, proving that they are the big birds in the big sky. West Coast by 66 points.
Lions versus D's. The Lions did their absolute best to lose the game after controlling most of it. The Big O versus Big Maxi, and it was Oscar who ended up with a happy ending with a Lions win. Cam Rayner had to be treated for altitude sickness as he scaled Gawn's head in a single bound, but dropped the car on the way down. Seriously, find the highlight because he got higher than Snoop Dogg on April 20. Lockie Neal could have played on his knees and still had 25 touches. The Brownlow's pretty much around his neck already. A heartstopper for me. My hands are still shaking. Lions take the 4 points with a win by 4 points. And then we need a prediction. Freo versus Geelong.
Geelong, got to be Geelong.
Has to
Freo
be.
are no
Freo
good.
suck.
Yeah, Freo.
Yeah.
Geelong
And that
really good.
was round 8.
Mate, I'll tell you one thing about St Kilda. They are the real deal.
The real deal. Hanbury's gone for the season now.
They don't need him.
He's played 10 of 30 games since he got to St Kilda.
10 of 30.
That's
And he's been paid like a lot of money. There's a lot of talk about the money at the moment, and players are off it. Journos are right on it.
I think players would well and truly be off it. Why would they be on it? Everyone's just like, oh, this is how much you get paid.
Yeah.
This is how much you get paid. I'll tell you who's taking a heavy discount. I mean, lucky he's not playing. Lance Franklin.
Yeah.
He's losing like $500,000.
Yeah.
That's an outrageous amount of money
Apparently they're going to have to take pay cuts next year as well. 20% or
Really?
something.
to cover the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? They're not going to get all the money back in 1 year, but
I've got a spicy take for you.
go for it.
In the Dogs versus the Suns game, Isaac Rankin, who's a part of the Hungry Hippos goal kicking club,
Rank the tank.
yeah,
Rank the tank.
pulled a full Toby Green and put a foot into the back of an opponent and tried to take a mark, and not a single person in the commentary or the replay or anyone talked about it at all. If that was Toby Green, that's the back page.
Yeah, the same thing happened in the Blues game, actually. Blues versus the Kangas. Someone tried to put
Cripps.
their stud into Paddy Cripps's lung,
Yep.
and he was very injured, but it was probably less like
But that's
deliberate.
like the sliding one. There's been like 4 this weekend when dudes have just slid in and straight into the shins of other guys, and it's fine. Like, it's just,
Yes.
the rule's gone now, so it doesn't matter.
And it just depends on who does it too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Toby Green, he was an absolute superstar.
Mate, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's like, you know when they have that debate at the end of the year, like MVP? It's like, oh, MVP, best player. If it's genuinely the most valuable, he's an absolute cert for that. Like, without him, GWS lose their structure completely. And I love when he just runs up to the back 50. He's like, right, we need a mark. Okay, I'll just go get a mark, slow everyone down, everyone relax, chips it off to someone, then runs down the other end of the field and then waits until he kicks a goal.
He plays so big.
He's
He
so good, mate.
jumps and flies.
Yeah, he's so good. What do you guys think? Brett Ratton, Coach of the Year, has he got it locked in already?
Oh, it depends, mate. If
Technically,
yeah, true. Brisbane, what about Fags?
no.
Or you think
Nah,
because Fags won it last year, you can't win it 2 years in a row?
Or you just did the same thing that you're doing last year.
Yeah,
You're
you
just
haven't
going
actually
well.
improved.
Oh, we're going well, and now we're still going well. You haven't.
It's not a bad shout, Radden.
Yeah, I think like his players love him. Everyone in the AFL community loves him too, and I think that's another big part.
True.
Like,
When they came off the ground, then the siren went last night, he was out on the ground. He was just getting to like Nick Caulfield and just like literally hugging him, being like pointing around, being like giving him real good,
yeah,
just nice chat. Like if you're a player, you just feel like, oh, that makes you feel so.
But then that also goes to the video from last week of Kenny Hinkley in the middle of the Port Circle singing the song.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
I feel like Rats is almost a cool guy, and Ken Hinkley's like your dorky dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just like get around, but you're like, yeah, you're not that cool.
Like, he loves it, but he's like, oh, hey guys, how about the football game?
Go football.
Oh, I love football. Great football out there today, boys. Oh.
Great footballing, boys. All right, up next, we got our interview with Tom Papley, who is the captain of the Hungry Hippos Football Club.
Loves it.
And we got to ask him about Clarko because Clarko said that he milks free kicks.
Oh, God.
Today's guest, Syme, is the Sydney Swans forward pocket, more importantly, the leader of the Coleman, but even more importantly, the captain of the famous Hungry Hippos goal-kicking club, Tom Papley. Welcome along, mate.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me.
Mate, thanks for coming on. Hey, look, we've got to get into the most controversial thing. It's always an interview thing. Start with your best work. Can we start calling you the milkman now? Clarko says you milk free kicks, but, you know, there's always the thing about the milkman. He always delivers. So I feel like you kind of get it in both angles. Can we start calling you the milkman? Does anyone call you the milkman? I feel like they should.
I You don't really want. I don't know. I didn't even dive last night, so I don't know what class I did.
Mate, we totally agree. We definitely agree with that.
Oh, he got me from behind, but yeah. Anyway, each their own. But yeah, you don't really want to be known as a diver or a stager, but be right. Being known as one to deliver. The other side of the milkman would be right, but no one's called me the milkman so far. And
so what happened? What did you say to Tom Mitchell after the double goal? Because double goal is bloody special.
Yeah, as a forward, it's a Christmas present, that is. But he just said a few words to me, just running into the stoppage, and he just sort of said, "Nice skills, perhaps you haven't done much today." So I said, "Oh yeah, just wait." And the fourth stoppage comes, so yeah, got one up on him. And even better because he used to be on the Swans team as well. So surely you've got a bit of dirt on him too. Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, we did intro you as the king of the captain of the Hungry Hippos goal kicking club. So on this show, we really love blokes who love kicking goals. So you're in it. Isaac Rankin, he's making a strong push to get into the Hungry Hippos. But you are 100% the captain. Have you always been a bloke who loves kicking goals? You love kicking goals more than anyone we've seen.
Yeah, I think from a young age, from under 18s, I sort of started playing at Gibby Power as a small forward, and I sort of just worked my way up. And I don't know, you don't get to kick goals every day in the AFL, and might as well enjoy them while I can.
Mate, I love that you don't just enjoy your own goals. Last week you jumped over a bloke. You jumped over a whole person while celebrating them kicking a goal.
Yeah, that was a bit over the top. I actually,
it was literally over the top.
Be right if I could jump for a mark like that. But,
well, mate, we would certainly love if you took the Coleman out. There would be nothing better than having a small forward take the Coleman away from, because Nick Rewalt was on Fox Footy the other night being like, it's not right that there's so many little blokes leading the Coleman, but we are well and truly on board the Papley train to take the Coleman medal this year.
Cheers, boys.
Hey, mate, we love watching you. Who do you like watching play?
I love watching Toby Green play. He's probably one of my favourite players to watch. Just sort of try to base my game on he's a little bit. I think I'm small, but I can sort of play tall, like a leading target and things like that. So he's really good at that, and he's a great player to watch. I really enjoy him playing, and I've learned some things off him watching the way he goes about it, and yeah.
And when you celebrate a goal next week, because the Milkman always delivers, if you want to give the Hungry Hippos a shout out, feel free to go. It's almost like a baby shark celebration, but the fingertips go to the end. So you go full arms forward and then fingertip to fingertip. The Hungry Hippos, they bloody love a shout out, that's for sure.
Right, I'll see what I can do.
Yes. And then we also wanted to ask about, mate, we also love the lizard, Randall, Nick Blakey. What's he like?
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's a funny bugger. He's good to have around the club, and he's a lizard. So he played all right last night. It was good to get him back in some form. So no, he's good. He's a good man.
Mate, along with him, is there anyone else at the Swans that we should be looking out for? Because we like a little bit of the inside word here. Is there anybody probably not in the limelight just yet who probably needs it, who we should kind of look out for in the upcoming weeks or in the future?
I like Elijah Taylor. He's going to be a gun. I reckon he's a pretty exciting talent. So keep your eyes on him the next few years and the next few weeks. I reckon he's got a couple of goals just around the corner for him. So keep an eye out for that one.
You didn't like him enough to give him the hand pass yesterday, though?
No, he's got a box out on him.
And now we've also heard perhaps that you've bought a horse.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the horse?
Yeah, I love the horses. They're sort of a bit of a hobby. I do a little bit of a punt responsibly, of course.
Of course.
Yes, always responsibly. Definitely responsibly.
But I got in a horse with the. I've got a couple. I got the latest one. I got it with a few mates, and we've got about about 10 in the syndicate and just like a 1 or 2% share. But should be racing in the next couple of weeks. And Tony McAvoy trains that, so he's a good trainer. And I got a good mate that works there, so he sort of hooked us up there. And it should be exciting.
What's the name? What can we look out for if we want to responsibly put a couple of bucks on the nose?
Chance Dior.
Chance Dior. All right.
Chance Dior.
All right. Awesome.
And I got then Zushine.
Zushine, yes.
Very good.
All right.
Very good.
Race,
awesome.
anyone running soon?
Chance Dior should be running in a couple of weeks.
All right.
First start.
All right.
All right.
Look out. We'll give it a bit of a shout when it's up.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Paps. Good luck against the Saints next week, mate.
Cheers.
And keep it up watch out for the Hungry Hippos celebration next week.
Can't wait to see it, mate. Can't wait to see it.
What is it?
So like big arms in front and then fingertips to fingertips. So it's kind of like the baby shark, how you go palm to palm, but Hungry Hippos, you go fingertip to fingertip.
I'm pumped up with them, and then you can just show the world. You can just show the world next week against the Saints.
Proudly put the captain. All right, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Right.
Paps.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Now it's time for the weekly award. He's been doing it all day. Sim, who's been doing it all day for you?
Who's been doing it all day this week is for Alir. So
Interesting.
You're very interesting. In the Swans Hawks game, he started out in the long sleeves.
Yeah, it looked weird, the red sleeves.
I'll tell you what, by the end of the game, he changed to the short sleeves, and that's why he gets my who's been doing it all day. A man not too proud to realise he looks like an absolute buffoon. He's too tall and his arms are too long. It was too much red.
I'll tell you
ridiculous.
what, the red on the of the Essendon jumper stinks. It stinks.
Isn't that's worst jersey in the comp? Gotta be.
It stinks.
Like, every time they wear that, they could wear it they could win who's been doing it all day, them wearing a bad jumper.
Yeah. Justin?
I'm going to take Darcy Byrne-Jones from Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a gun. He had 21 the other night. Rude haircut. But doesn't let it stop him. He's just a really good player, I reckon. Nice little halfback flanker, but works up in the middle of the ground, and I'll get around him.
Do you reckon chance for the AA40? I mean, he's probably not going to get in the team. But
Probably depends how Doherty goes. Yeah, he'd probably be sniffing the 40, I reckon. It's not setting the world on fire, but no one talks about him, and he goes out and gets 20 every week, and
his team's lost one game for the year.
And he's trustworthy. I like him.
Yeah. What have you got for us, Adam? Who's been doing it all day?
Mine doing it all. It's almost the opposite. It's what someone hasn't been doing all day.
Yeah, that can count.
Jared Pollock, mate. That guy has not played a lick of defense his entire career.
He was bloody best on for the Roos.
He's good.
He's a stud.
Let me tell you, 25 touches or 24, 25 touches always kills it in metres gained. It's always about 450, 500 metres gained. But never have I seen someone get turned around with less interest in tackling. He's like James Harden playing defense in the NBA.
I don't think he's alone in the AFL footballers who don't defend category.
That's not to say...
There's a few there we could go through.
He started on Cripps. They started him on the tag with Cripper.
Silly.
And no, he was killing it. So Cripps had no clearances in the first quarter, but he had about 4 or 5 touches. That's probably where Pollock was exposed. But then they took him off, put him on the wing. Mate, he changed the game. He got us single-handedly got us back into it.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about his offense because I agree that he's quite a good offensive player. Defensive player, though.
Don't need it, bro. The whole point of the game is to score more points than the other team. It's
true.
You don't get it not scoring points.
That is true.
You don't get it not scoring points.
No,
He's on the positives.
I love seeing guys not put effort in on defense. It's hilarious.
Look, he could have kicked an extra goal, except Jasper's brain fell out of his head. We're not talking about it though, because everyone bangs on about it like they've never made a dumb decision. And then Jasper, I'm with you. I see you, Jasper. I see you, and I'm with you. All right. I really wish I'd have taken that mark in the last quarter, but apart from that one, the pushing over one, look, it can be excused. Mark Murphy, you're a drip.
All right, that's it for another episode of He's Been Doing It All. He's Been Doing It All Day. Brought to you by the Carlton Draft. Check them out at carltondraftshirts.com. They've also got a Jasper the Friendly Ghost t-shirt
They
out
do.
there for anyone who's interested.
Have they got a Mark Murphy, you're a drip t-shirt?
Mark Murphy to drip coming out of a tap. Simon buy that for sure.
Copyright that.
Check us out at Been Doing It All Day on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Just search for He's Been Doing It All
Watch
Day.
the whole episode.
Yeah, watch it all. We'll be back next week for round 9.
Thanks.